Captain June Park stood on the bridge of the TSS Vigilant, Earth's most advanced warship. The massive vessel glided silently through the darkness at the edge of human space. Stars shimmered in the viewport like distant dreams. June adjusted his uniform and looked at his crew with pride. They were the best humanity had to offer. "Captain, we're picking up unusual energy readings," said Mina Kim, his first officer. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel. June walked to her station. "Show me." The screen displayed strange energy patterns unlike anything they had encountered before. Science Officer Tae Song joined them, his eyes widening. "These readings suggest advanced technology, Captain, far beyond our own." The tension on the bridge grew thick. Humanity had been alone in space for decades of exploration. They had found ruins and remnants of ancient civilizations, but never living aliens. "All stations, yellow alert," June ordered, calmly. "Let's be ready for anything." Communications Officer Dae Lee suddenly straightened in his chair. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission. It's not in any known language." "Can you translate it?" June asked. Dae worked frantically. "The computer is processing it now, sir." Minutes later, the ship's speakers crackled with a strange mechanical voice. "Attention, human vessel. You have entered territory belonging to the Araxian Imperium. Prepare to be boarded and catalogued." June's jaw tightened. "Open a channel." When Dae nodded, June spoke clearly. "This is Captain June Park of the Earthship Vigilant. We come in peace and did not know this region had been claimed. We wish to establish friendly relations." The response came quickly. "Peace is submission. The Araxian Imperium rules this sector of the galaxy. Your species will be evaluated for usefulness." Before June could respond, 3 massive ships appeared from behind a nearby asteroid field. They were unlike anything humans had built, organic-looking vessels with strange glowing patterns across their hulls. "Those ships are enormous," whispered Security Chief Han Bei. "Each one is at least 5 times our size." June remained outwardly calm, though his heart raced. "Maintain position. Let's not appear threatening." The alien voice returned. "Your military technology will be surrendered immediately. Your species will then receive its designation and purpose within the Imperium." June exchanged glances with Mina. "We cannot surrender our ship. We propose a diplomatic meeting to discuss peaceful coexistence." Silence followed. The 3 alien ships moved closer, forming a triangle around the Vigilant. "Captain," Engineer Hana Cho called from her station. "They're scanning us. Our systems are experiencing interference." The alien voice returned, colder now. "Your technology is primitive but may be useful. Your resistance is noted. Compliance is not optional." "Sir," Han reported urgently. "They're powering weapons." June made his decision instantly. "Red alert, shields up, evasive maneuvers." The Vigilant lurched as bright energy beams struck its shields. The bridge shook violently. "Direct hit," Han shouted. "Shields at 60%. Return fire," June ordered. "Target their weapon systems only." The Vigilant's advanced railguns and energy cannons fired with precision, but the alien shields barely flickered. "No effect, Captain," Han reported. "Their shield technology is far superior." Another hit rocked the ship. Consoles sparked and smoke filled the air. "Shields at 30%, Han called. "We can't take much more." June gripped his chair. "Hana, what about the Omega Drive?" Engineer Hana looked up, her face pale. "The experimental jump drive?" "Sir, it's never been tested in combat conditions." "We have no choice," June said firmly. "Prepare for emergency jump." As the crew rushed to comply, the aliens attacked again. A powerful beam cut through their weakened shields, slicing into the ship's hull. "Hull breach on deck 3, Mina reported. "Emergency bulkheads engaged." June helped a fallen crew member back to her station. "Hana, status of the Omega Drive?" "Ready, sir, but I can't guarantee where we'll end up." "Anywhere is better than here," June replied. "Execute jump now." Hana pressed the activation sequence. The ship hummed with strange energy as the experimental drive engaged. A final message came from the aliens. "You cannot escape the Imperium, the E." Stars outside stretched into lines of light. The ship shuddered violently. Warning alarms blared throughout the vessel. "Drive malfunction," Hana shouted over the noise. "We're losing control." The bridge crew held on as reality itself seemed to tear around them. A blinding flash filled the viewport. When the light faded, the Vigilant drifted in unknown space. Through the viewport, they saw a beautiful, swirling purple nebula. "Damage report," June ordered, wiping blood from a cut on his forehead. "Multiple. Systems damaged," Mina replied. "Weapons offline. Shields at 12%. The Omega drive is fried." Tay looked up from his console, his expression a mixture of fear and wonder. "Captain, I'm detecting something inside that nebula, something artificial, and it's enormous." The damaged Terran Warship Vigilant drifted toward the mysterious purple nebula. Through the viewport, the swirling cosmic gases looked almost alive, shifting and dancing around a dark shape at its center. "Life support is stable, but engines are down to 20%, reported Engineer Hana as she wiped sweat from her brow. "We won't get home in this condition." Captain June nodded grimly. "What about that structure Tay detected?" Science Officer Tay studied his readings. "It's definitely artificial, about the size of a small moon. The design doesn't match any known civilization." "Could it be Araxian?" First Officer Mina asked, worry creasing her face. Tay shook his head. "I don't think so. These energy signatures suggest it's much, much older." June made a quick decision. "Set course for the structure. Maybe we can find something to help repair our ship." As the Vigilant limped closer, details of the massive station became clearer. It was built from dark metal with strange patterns etched across its surface. No lights shone from within. "No response to our hails," Communications Officer Day reported. "If anyone's home, they're not talking." June studied the structure. "Scan for an entry point." Minutes later, Hana called out, "Found what looks like a docking bay, Captain." The Vigilant eased into the enormous opening. Inside was a cavernous hangar, empty except for dust. As the ship settled down, emergency lights cast eerie shadows across the ancient metal walls. "Atmosphere is breathable," Tay confirmed. "Temperature is cold but survivable." June assembled a team. Himself, Security Chief Han, Tay, and Engineer Sun. They wore light armor and carried weapons, just in case. "Mina, you have the bridge," June ordered. "If anything happens to us, take the ship and run." The team stepped into the silent station. Their footsteps echoed in the emptiness. Tay's scanner led them down long corridors with high ceilings. Strange symbols covered the walls. "These markings aren't decorative," Tay said excitedly. "They're some kind of language. Very old." Han kept his weapon ready. "I don't like this place, it feels wrong." They reached a massive door. After struggling with the ancient mechanism, they pushed it open. Beyond was a circular room with a raised platform in the center. Above it hung a swirling ball of dark energy contained in a transparent cube. "What is that?" Sun whispered, her eyes wide. Tay approached carefully. "It looks like some kind of containment field. There's something inside it." Around the room were control panels covered in dust. Tay brushed one clean, revealing more symbols. "I think this is a prison," he said slowly. "And that's the prisoner." "Can you read any of it?" June asked. Tay worked with his translation device. "Parts. This talks about the great danger and eternal containment. Whatever is in that cube, someone wanted it locked away forever." Sun moved to another panel. "These systems are incredibly advanced, but I recognize some basic principles. Maybe I can access their database." "Be careful," June warned. Sun's fingers moved across the alien controls. Suddenly lights flickered on throughout the room. A humming sound filled the air as ancient machinery awakened. "What did you do?" Han asked nervously. "I just tried to access their records," Sun replied. "I didn't mean to." A beam of light shot from the ceiling, scanning each of them. Then a voice spoke in a strange mechanical tone that somehow they understood. Genetic match confirmed. Descendants of the creators identified. A hologram appeared, a tall, humanoid figure with elongated features. It spoke again. I am the guardian, AI of this facility. The creators tasked me with containing the Nexus until worthy successors could be found. June stepped forward. We are humans from Earth, we mean no harm. The AI studied him. Earth, yes, the creators' homeworld. They fled there when the war began. You are their children, returned as foretold. What war? Han asked. Who were these creators? Your ancestors, the AI replied. They built this prison to contain the greatest threat the galaxy has ever known. The dark energy in the cube pulsed as if responding. What exactly is the Nexus? Tay asked, fascination overcoming his fear. Before the AI could answer, alarms blared. The station shook. Captain, Mina's voice came through their communicators. Araxian scout ships just appeared. They're attacking both us and the station. The AI's hologram flickered. Hostiles detected. Automatic defenses activated. June turned to his team. Back to the ship now. As they ran, the AI's voice followed them. Control protocols transferred to Descendant June Park. The decision is yours. Release or maintain containment of the Nexus. The station rocked from another hit. What decision? June shouted. What is the Nexus? The AI's voice was fading. The ultimate weapon, or humanity's salvation, depending on who controls it. They reached the hangar as more explosions rocked the station. Through the opening, they could see 3 Araxian ships firing on the ancient prison's outer hull. June knew they faced an impossible choice: flee, and likely be destroyed, or release something so dangerous an ancient civilization had built this entire station to contain it. The Vigilant shuddered as another Araxian weapon hit the ancient prison station. On the bridge, warning lights flashed red across every console. Shields down to 8%, Mina shouted over the alarms. One more direct hit and we're done for. Captain June's mind raced. They couldn't outrun the Araxian ships in their damaged state. Fighting back was impossible with their weapons offline. The only option left was the mysterious entity imprisoned in the station. Captain, what are we going to do? Engineer Hana asked, fear in her voice. June made the hardest decision of his life. I'm going back to release the Nexus. Are you insane? Security Chief Han protested. That thing was locked away for a reason. We don't have a choice, June replied grimly. Everyone else prepare for immediate departure if this goes wrong. June rushed back through the corridors of the ancient prison, the station trembling around him. When he reached the central chamber, the containment cube was pulsing with dark energy, as if sensing freedom was near. Guardian AI, I am June Park, he called out. You said control protocols were transferred to me. I choose to release the Nexus. The holographic AI appeared, its expression solemn. Warning. Once released, the Nexus cannot be contained again, by current means. Confirm release order. Another explosion rocked the station. Debris fell from the ceiling. Confirmed, June shouted. Release it now. The transparent cube began to dissolve. The dark energy within expanded, forming a cloud of shimmering particles that filled the room. June stepped back, his hand on his weapon, though he knew it would be useless against something so powerful. But instead of attacking, the cloud formed into a rough humanoid shape. Then, to June's shock, a voice spoke directly into his mind. Thank you for freeing me. I am the Nexus. The voice was neither male nor female, but somehow felt ancient and wise. What are you? June asked aloud. I am the last of my kind, the Nexus replied in his thoughts. A collective consciousness of billions of nanites, capable of bonding with organic and technological systems. Why were you imprisoned? Not because I was dangerous, but because I refused to be weaponized. The creators wanted to use me to dominate. Others, I would not comply. The station shook violently. Part of the ceiling collapsed nearby. We need to leave, June said urgently. Araxian ships are attacking. The Araxians. The Nexus's form rippled with what seemed like anger. They rose to power after my creator's civilization fell. They hunger for dominance, not understanding. Another mental message came, this time urgent. Your ship is in danger. I can help you fight them, but I need hosts to reach my full potential. Hosts? June asked, suddenly wary. A symbiotic relationship. I can bond with willing humans, enhancing your natural abilities. You remain in control, but gain my power. As if to demonstrate, a tendril of the shimmering cloud touched June's hand. Instantly, he felt energy surge through him. His mind expanded, suddenly able to perceive the station's systems, the Araxian ships outside, even the thoughts of his crew on the Vigilant. This is just a fraction of what I offer, the Nexus said. But it must be voluntary. June pulled his hand away, overwhelmed but amazed. And if we refuse? Then I remain here and you likely die. The Araxians will capture me eventually. June made his decision. Come with us. I'll offer my crew the choice. The Nexus condensed into a smaller cloud that followed June back to the I ship. On the bridge, the crew stared in shock as the shimmering entity entered. What is that? Mina asked, backing away. Quickly, June explained the situation. The Nexus can help us fight the Araxians, but it needs willing hosts. The choice is yours. Another Araxian ship just arrived, Day called out. We're surrounded. Time was running out. June stepped forward. I volunteer to be first? The cloud enveloped him. Pain flashed through his body for an instant, then clarity like he'd never known before. He could feel the ship, as if it were part of his body, sense the Araxian weapons targeting them. I understand their technology now, he said, his voice slightly different. I can help us fight back. Hana stepped forward next. I volunteer too. One by one, half the crew accepted the Nexus into their bodies. The others, including Mina, watched with a mixture of fear and wonder as their crewmates transformed. Araxians are charging weapons, Han shouted. Not for long, June replied calmly. The enhanced crew members moved with perfect coordination. Hana's fingers danced across her console, somehow repairing systems that had been critically damaged. Weapons online, she announced. Shields restoring. The Vigilant suddenly came alive, its systems performing beyond their design specifications. When the Araxians fired, June somehow knew exactly how to maneuver the ship to avoid the blast. Return. Fire, he ordered. The Vigilant's weapons struck with impossible precision, crippling 2 Araxian ships instantly. The third managed to send a transmission before Hana disabled its engines. They're calling for reinforcements, Day reported. The main fleet is coming. June looked at his transformed crew, then at those who had remained human. We need to repair the ship fully and prepare, he said. The real battle is just beginning. The hours after the battle passed in a blur of activity aboard the Vigilant. The Nexus-bonded crew members worked with incredible speed and precision to repair the damaged ship. Their movements were fluid and coordinated, as if they shared one mind while maintaining their individual personalities. Captain June stood at a viewport examining his reflection. His eyes now had a subtle silver glow that became more pronounced when he accessed the Nexus abilities. His wounds from the battle had already healed completely. The changes are accelerating, Mina said, approaching cautiously. She had chosen to remain unaltered, watching the transformation of her crewmates with scientific interest and personal concern. How do you feel? She asked. June turned to her. Like I've been blind my whole life and can finally see. I know things, Mina. About the ship, about space, about the Araxians. Knowledge the Nexus has gathered over thousands of years. In engineering, Hana worked miracles with the ship's systems. Her hands moved in a blur as she rebuilt circuitry and created entirely new components. The nanites in her body helped her reshape metal with her bare hands. The drive systems are not just repaired, she explained to an amazed engineer who had remained human. They're improved. We'll be faster and more powerful than before. Security Chief Han, also bonded with the Nexus, tested his new abilities in the training room. He could move with impossible speed and anticipate every attack from the training. Robots. When he touched the ship's computer, he could interface with it directly through his fingertips. It's extraordinary, he told Tay, who was documenting the changes. I'm still me, but more. On the bridge, Communications Officer Day made a startling discovery. The Nexus had enhanced his ability to understand patterns and frequencies to the point where he could receive signals no human technology could detect. Captain, he called excitedly when June entered. I can hear them. The Araxians. I can intercept their communications without them knowing. June joined him at his station. What are they saying? Their main fleet is 2 days away. Their High Admiral is leading them personally. They're afraid of us, of the Nexus. The Nexus consciousness, which remained partly separate while also existing within each bonded crew member, materialized as a shimmering figure on the bridge. The Araxians fear what they cannot control, it said, its voice now audible to everyone. Their empire is built on technological domination. They take advanced technology from ancient sites and other species, but they do not truly understand it. They use it to enslave others. Why are they so afraid of you specifically? Mina asked. Because I represent true symbiotic evolution. The path the creators rejected when they imprisoned me. The Araxians maintain power through forced stagnation. They prevent other species from evolving beyond a certain point. Tay entered the bridge, excitement evident in his voice. Captain, you need to see this. Sun has discovered something incredible. In the science lab, Officer Sun hovered her hand over a small sample of the Nexus. Thin silver threads extended from her fingertips to the shimmering particles. Watch, she said. The Nexus sample suddenly vanished. A second later it reappeared. Where did it go? June asked. Everywhere and nowhere, Sun replied with a smile. The Nexus exists partially in subspace. It can transmit itself instantly across vast distances. We could send messages back to Earth with no delay. We could even transport small objects. Or warnings, Mina added grimly. If the Araxian fleet is coming, Earth needs to know. June nodded, but his expression remained troubled. Later in his quarters, he confided in Mina. If we bring the Nexus to Earth, we're changing humanity forever. Is that our right to decide? The Araxians will come to Earth eventually, Mina replied, with or without us. At least with the Nexus, we have a fighting chance. But at what cost? We're becoming something else. Something beyond human. Are you? Mina challenged. You still worry about the same things. You still care about your crew, about Earth. That seems very human to me. Their conversation was interrupted when the ship's alarm sounded. On the bridge, Day's expression was grim. The Araxian fleet has arrived early. 27 ships, Captain. Their High Admiral is hailing us. The main screen flickered to life, showing a tall, pale alien with sharp features and cold eyes. Unlike the other Araxians they had encountered, he wore no helmet, revealing his true face. I am High Admiral Yoon of the Araxian Imperium, he said, in perfect human language. You have taken something that does not belong to you. Return the Nexus entity, and your species will be spared. Resist, and we will reduce your homeworld to ash. June stood tall, the silver glow in his eyes intensifying. The Nexus belongs to no one. It chose to join with us freely. We offer you peace, Admiral, but we will not surrender. Then you have chosen extinction, Yoon replied coldly. No species has ever successfully bonded with the Nexus. You will lose control, and it will consume you. That is why it must be contained. The screen went black. Around the Vigilant, the massive Araxian fleet moved into attack formation. The final battle for humanity's future was about to begin. The 27 Araxian warships surrounded the lone Terran vessel, their weapons charged and ready. To any observer, the outcome seemed certain. The small human ship couldn't possibly stand against such overwhelming force. Inside the Vigilant, Captain June stood calmly on the bridge. The silver glow in his eyes brightened as he connected more deeply with the Nexus. Around him, the other bonded crew members took their positions with perfect coordination. All stations report, June ordered. Engineering ready, Hana replied, her fingers dancing across controls that now responded to her thoughts as much as her touch. I've channeled the Nexus energy into our shields and weapons. We're operating at 400% of normal capacity. Tactical ready, Han confirmed. I can predict their attack patterns. They're planning to hit us from multiple vectors simultaneously. Mina watched with a mixture of awe and concern. She had remained fully human, a living reminder of what the crew once was. Are we still us? She asked quietly. June turned to her. We are the best of both. Human compassion with Nexus capability. That's what they fear most. The Araxian ships opened fire. Streams of energy weapons converged on the Vigilant from all directions. In normal circumstances, the ship would have been vaporized instantly, but Han anticipated every shot. June guided the ship through impossibly tight maneuvers, and Hana's enhanced shields absorbed energy that should have torn through them. Return. Fire, June ordered. Target their weapons only. We're not destroyers. The Vigilant's weapons struck with surgical precision. One by one, Araxian ships lost their ability to attack, but remained intact. On the main screen, Admiral Yoon's face appeared again, twisted with rage. Impossible! How are you doing this? The Nexus hasn't taken control of us, June explained calmly. We've formed a true partnership. This is what you've always feared. Species evolving beyond your control. You understand nothing, Yoon snarled. The Nexus destroyed its creators, it will destroy you too. In the back of June's mind, the Nexus consciousness stirred. I did not destroy them. They destroyed themselves in their hunger for dominance, just as the Araxians will. As if to prove the point, the remaining Araxian ships suddenly concentrated, all fire on their own admiral's vessel, attempting to destroy Yoon rather than let him be captured. Hana, extend shields around the admiral's ship, June ordered. Using her enhanced abilities, Hana projected a protective field around the Araxian flagship, saving it from destruction by its own fleet. Why protect me? Yoon demanded, confusion, replacing his anger. Because that's what humans do, June replied simply. We protect life when we can, even our enemies. The battle ended quickly after that. The Araxian ships, seeing their advantage lost, retreated to a safe distance. Yoon was brought aboard the Vigilant as both prisoner and guest. In the ship's conference room, the admiral finally revealed the truth. The Araxian Imperium has ruled for 10,000 years by preventing other species from evolving technologically. We find advanced technology and lock it away. We identify promising species and limit their development. But why? Mina asked. Because we saw what happened to the ancients, your ancestors, Yoon explained. They created the Nexus, believing they could control it. Instead, it changed them, divided them. Some embraced evolution, others feared it. They fought a war that nearly destroyed the galaxy. The Nexus didn't cause that war, June countered. Fear did. The same fear that drives your empire. Tay, who had been analyzing the ancient prison's data, spoke up. The records confirm this. The creators weren't destroyed by the Nexus. Half of them wanted to use it as a weapon. The other half wanted peaceful coexistence. Those who chose peace fled to Earth. So humans are descendants of those who rejected using the Nexus as a weapon, Mina realized. Which is why we can form a true symbiosis, June added. Our ancestors chose compassion over domination. That choice is in our DNA. The crew gathered on the bridge as the Vigilant prepared to begin its long journey home. Using the ancient prison's powerful communication array, June sent a message across the galaxy. To all species under Araxian rule, humanity has partnered with the entity known as the Nexus. We do not seek domination. We offer a new path. Evolution through cooperation. The age of forced stagnation is over. Yoon, standing under guard, shook his head. You've started something you cannot control. Change always brings chaos. Change also brings growth, June replied. And humans are very good at adapting to change. As the Vigilant set course for Earth, Mina joined June at the viewport. Stars streaked by faster than should have been possible, propelled by Nexus-enhanced engines. Are we bringing salvation or destruction home? She asked. Neither, June answered, his silver eyes reflecting the endless stars. We're bringing choice, the freedom to evolve, to grow beyond what we are now. Some will embrace it, others will fear it. He smiled at her, still human despite his transformation. But isn't that the most human thing of all? The power to choose our own future. The Vigilant accelerated toward Earth, carrying with it humanity's greatest potential and its greatest responsibility.